Hey, Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio, and it's Girl Dad Sunday, and I'm exhausted, but I'm here because that's how we get down. A lot going on, and so we'll tell you why I'm exhausted when I get the super producer on here. But got a lot to talk about today. Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. I think they ceremoniously decided to break up on the 20th anniversary of the release of The Wire, in honor of Michael B. Jordan's character. She frowned her face but she don't remember that Michael B. Jordan was a youngin' on The Wire. Anyway, 20th anniversary of The Wire is this past week. Drew Sidor, which I think she's one of the new, or maybe she's been on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't watch it anyway, unless I just walk into the room and my wife and her girlfriends are watching it. But I guess she's claiming that she dated LeBron James when LeBron James has been with his wife since high school.
Listen, I gotta stop letting you lead stories in because you just be like, I think it's like this. I'm not really sure. Like, I think this. Maybe she's been on the Atlanta Housewives. Drew Sidor has been on the Atlanta Housewives for going on 2 seasons. This is her 3rd season.
Okay, all right. We didn't do this. How do we do this?
We still got this graphic.
Well, you know what's so funny? I still had that graphic. And for guys, if you missed that show, we did that Thursday, whatever, because it had to be done. And there's more. There's more. There's a whole lot more. Can we just start with that? Hold on, let me go back to.
Hold on, let's just do our. We only have an hour, so we're gonna be quick.
All right.
We got to hear about our weekend. So what are we doing first?
All right. Okay, all right. So let's jump into this thing. Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan, who were considered, they were all on everybody's pages about Black love and all that good stuff, and then now they ain't together no more. So what's the story there? Let's go ahead and break that down.
That's the gist of it. Like, I know I complain that you don't get stories right, but that's the gist of it.
Hold on, I always get stories right. Don't be trying to play me. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't realize they had only been together for a year and a half. I felt like their relationship was a lot longer because it felt like they were always in our faces, like Black love and Nugget and Turtle, and they're at this party and he's throwing this bash for her and they're this and that, and it just seemed like it was a lot longer relationship. But Black people, let's stop calling everything Black love. Let's not give it a Black love label until they're married. Is that a fair thing to do? Because I feel like we've labeled a lot of things Black love that ended up being Black over and Black toxic.
Well, here's the funny thing about Lori Harvey. Okay, so because everybody is all loving Lori Harvey now, right? And then maybe about 3 years ago, y'all was talking bad about Lori Harvey. What'd you say?
That she was a hoe. That's how they were talking about her.
That's how y'all was talking, because that's how y'all was talking about her. Because let's run back. Who I know off the top of my head, one jumps out to me that she dated Diddy and Diddy's son,
and Future.
And Future.
And here's the thing: if you date Future in general, you get labeled a hoe. Apparently, like that's just how you get like a whole stamp of approval just by going on a date with Future. But everybody kept saying that she's this inappropriate, she's a hoe, whatever. But it's not like anybody knew her actual body count. I think it was just weird that she dated Diddy's son, then dated Diddy. I mean, that's automatically just inappropriate. But no one really knew. And then when she got with Michael B. Jordan, it seemed wholesome. Did it not seem wholesome?
Well, here's the thing. Michael Jordan is just that dude. Michael B. Jordan is, plays great roles, played Killmonger, has done the whole Creed thing.
Horrible actor.
He's not a horrible actor. He's an action. Okay, if he's a horrible actor, then it's a whole lot of horrible. Then The Rock and Sylvester Stallone and all of them.
Listen to The Rock, Sylvester Stallone, him, Gabrielle Union, they're all the same. It's the same tone through every movie. But what Miguel is saying is he's the safe Black guy. He does his movies. He's not problematic. No. He doesn't do anything crazy.
No, we've been looking for somebody to replace because Denzel don't need to do no more action movies. Denzel gotta be pushing 70 years old.
Denzel is the Black Liam Neeson. Are we gonna tell Liam Neeson to stop doing action movies?
Absolutely. He needs to stop doing action. Who's gonna believe that this 70-year-old man is always flipping people and knocking them, hitting with a? Come on, man, stop it.
Harrison Ford. Are we telling Harrison to stop?
Is he still making movies? Harrison Ford is still alive?
One, yes, he's still alive. And the next two, the next Indiana Jones comes out pretty soon. Yeah.
And then I think I heard somebody is playing his son or somebody in that new flick.
Yes.
Some younger artist that people. That's what you do when you get to that age. And why we think about that? Why we talking about it? Prayers out for Bruce Willis, because I saw something come across my feed. I know he's dealing with an illness. Bruce Willis is dealing with a serious illness, and I guess Demi Moore and his wife are now coming together. And my understanding, they actually been kind of living, not like, I don't know what they're doing in their house.
So yes, that's what it's called, aphasia. And what happens is something, I forgot how it works, something in the brain disconnects for him in being able to connect brain with words to speak. Like it's not coming out like it's supposed to. And I'm pretty sure aphasia might be something like Alzheimer's, but with just getting words out, not so much with memory. Yeah. So he probably does need a lot of help. So them kind of coming together, and they've always been friends.
Yeah. They seem like they're, they just seem like the type of couple that they always kind of both did their own thing. Even when they was, Go
circle back to Lori and
I'm sorry, we did get off Lori and Michael B. Jordan.
It's sad. They seemed like they were very happy together, and in the article Miguel just had up, they both said they're heartbroken, which to me goes, if you're both so heartbroken, and I'm assuming nobody cheated, then there doesn't really seem to be a reason why y'all broke up. If you're like, what was?
But here's the so funny thing, because who knows? If they decide to go on a little Instagram, I got to put my post up. Yeah, because then it was this is what Black Twitter said. He cheated. If they both heartbroken, he cheated, blah, 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 blah. Then it comes out that, it was kind of like a mutual thing. Well, she's only 25 and he's 35 and she still need to be living out here, blah, blah, blah. First of all, Lori Harvey has lived.
I know. She's doing just fine on that live side.
She's doing real good on that live side. She's good. She's all that. Because I think last couple of weeks ago, they were talking about her diet and she only ate 1,200 calories a day. It just, to me, it's just so funny how much people really care about all this type of stuff and how it always pops up on my feed. Maybe that says something about me, about my algorithms. But anyway.
Exactly what it does. But I just want them to be happy. Like, if you guys are happy together and there's nothing seriously wrong, then it just seems like it's a weird thing, unless he's ready to get married and have kids and she still wants to continue her life, and that could be it. You never know with this, but I do feel bad for them. But I do feel bad about Black people labeling everything Black love. Everything is not Black love. It's not.
It's easy, it's catchy. You can put it on a hashtag, and so that's why people love saying that. Lori Harvey's a beautiful person. Michael B. Jordan is my man. I can't be saying he's
I want them to have a real breakup statement. I don't want them to have the whole.
Why? Ain't none of our business.
It's none of our business, but I'm tired of hearing breakup statements that sound like wedding announcements. That was what works my nerve. It's always like, we loved each other so much, and the glory of our relationship shed bright on our lives, but we just grew apart. Like, wait, what? I'm sorry. That's exactly how my wedding invite sounded. So
man. I look at this stuff and I'm just like, as much as I want to have famous people money, I don't want to have famous people lives. I'm just like, that nonsense, bro, especially in this social media era and an era of these people don't know how to move without social media. So, going back to, we talk about, the King Denzel. You don't never see Denzel and I think what's his name, his wife's Pauletta. You don't hear a lot of them about being on social media outside of somebody taking one of their old videos and posting it out there and putting their own little graphic on there and saying Denzel is the king. Pauletta nigga walk by me right now, could walk in my house, and I think she could be a Mary Kay salesman. I don't know what she look like. She's not the person that she's out there all the time.
Just like, you're right. She could be sitting next to my mom and like, oh, did you guys go to high school together, Mom? Like, who is this lady?
No, this is Pauletta Washington, Denzel's wife. Same thing with Samuel Jackson, right? Samuel Jackson's wife, beautiful woman. She could pass by me tomorrow in church and I wouldn't even know. But this era of celebs, everybody, because it's so much of their resources are attached to their social presence. And now... Make sure you watch the recent interview he did with Desus and Mero. They had an interview with Denzel Washington. Okay.
And it was hilarious. He was talking to them because he, I guess, grew up in New York.
Yeah, he's from New York.
Like right where the train stops or something. They were talking about that and how he was all about the Boys and Girls Club and how his mom embarrassed him at the bus stop. Like he's having those conversations, which is cool to see him have those kind of regular.
He's an old sage dude that ain't nobody gonna stop Denzel from doing anything in the rest of his life So you're like, I'm gonna tell these stories. I'm gonna have myself some fun. Just don't do no more action flicks. All right, so let's slide over, and we were talking about. Did we start talking about this and then went away from it? Did we already talk about this, Drew Sidor? I think
That
we
seems like
started
a
to
last
stop.
conversation. Do you want to go to Monique and
Do, I want to go to Monique? Any reason for me to play this?
You're going to be playing that graphic for a while because she just won't let this go. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
So where we left off on, we left off with DL and his what he talked about.
Yep.
Since then, what has she done this week? It's been a lot.
So what happened was this week she came out with an image talking about how, and this is a true story. DL's daughter was sexually assaulted by somebody on his team. The daughter went to him, and DL did not believe her at first. And he talks about this in the interview, how he didn't believe her at first and how he felt so bad about that later on because, he was like, that's my friend. He would never do that. Maybe you were a mistake. Like, he did that whole thing.
Okay.
Monique decides to now bring this up as a reason why DL is a coward. And that's why she said that on the show. And it's backfiring because everybody's like, hold up, wait a minute. We thought he was a coward because you couldn't go on as a headliner. We thought he was a coward because the whole thing he did backstage about throwing a fit. Now you're saying he's a coward because he didn't protect his daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now everybody is turning against her like, wait a minute, nope. Now you cross the line because you're weaponizing a girl's sexual assault to get back at her father.
No, everybody's not turning against her. Nope. Everybody's not turning against her. They're still the ones who love Auntie Mo. And it is absolutely disgusting, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. You can go on Black Twitter right now. We can do a live action, go on Black Twitter right now, and it's gonna be some folks out there who are gonna be defending old Auntie Mo because of the fact that, hey, it's got to be somebody else's fault besides her. This is getting ridiculous. Steve Harvey has come out. Did you hear the Steve Harvey response?
I did not.
Yeah, Steve Harvey came out and he basically said, I'm not your problem, and because it's really Steve Harvey has one of those famous lines where he says, about punching down. You know what I mean? I don't need to be punching down, talking to people who can't do much to me or for me. And so his response was along those lines, and I listened to it the other day, and if I can pull it up, I'll find it. I will. But Monique, it's sad. It's really sad, man, where we are with these. So Steve Harvey responds to Monique's calling him a coon during a comedy show. I'm not your problem, is what we're seeing. I heard it. He did it on the show. And here's the thing. Monique, and I guess she doesn't really care. I guess she doesn't realize that, we talked last week about how D.L. Hughley is in over 70 markets. He's in over 70 radio markets. You can double that with Steve Harvey.
Yes. I make that face because the Steve Harvey show was like the younger version of Tom Joyner.
Tom Joyner.
Like, Tom Joyner age group, and then you have the Steve Harvey age group.
Yeah, and it's not even it's not even he's been on the air now consistent because I was in the radio. So mind you, I've been out of radio sales for 17 years. It was 2005 when I left radio sales. Steve Harvey was kicking behind then. Mm-hmm. He was creeping up on Tom Joyner then, where Tom Joyner was the one who was cleaning everybody's clock before then, and then Steve was coming in with his show. And so that's at least 17 consecutive years. And I would say closer to 20 because he was 2 or 3 years prior to that when he was coming in. Let me see if this is the clip already set up.
To the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Carla, we have a special treat just in time for summer for our Steve Harvey Nation that we love so much. Tell us about it. All right, Shirley girl.
All I did, meat, more meat.
No, that ain't it. The other clip I found, I'll see if I can find it for the show's out.
Okay.
But he basically talks about how, Monique, I'm not your problem, and it's almost like everybody is pitying her now. They're pitying her, like, Monique, you sound like a clown. Your problem is your husband manager.
Thank you. That is the main issue here. It is nothing else. It is him.
Yeah.
He is the problem.
Yeah.
And Hughley's daughter got involved, and her post is really long, so I'm not going to.
Hush up. Sorry. I'm trying to find on YouTube. Go ahead.
So Monique reposted the girl's post because she's basically saying, you're so pro Black women, but you've disrespected my mother, me, my sister. We're all Black women.
Right.
You have brought toxic stuff. And she's
Right.
like, she actually was like, yo, I will DM you my address. And if you really want to come meet me. That was the come fight me, come meet me. Mo took it as the, hey, young sister, thank you for the invitation for a discussion. We would like to take you up on it because it could be very healing for our community.
That's Monique's response.
Now, have DL Hughley, she tagged him in it, set up a time for you and your family and my husband and I to come on his show. We can grow from there. Not come to the house and have a private discussion.
Nah, I'm not coming on you. You're not coming on my show. I'm not giving you no extra
private discussion. Not y'all come to the house and we can talk and hash this out behind closed doors. Let's go on the show. Like, and this would be another way for her to berate him, embarrass him, and embarrass herself further.
It's coming back to this social currency. They look at this thing and they said, okay, all press is good press, and it's not right. But that's us speaking. We you know who knows how many more opportunities there are comedy shows I'm sure that she's trying to secure right now, that she's working on, that are coming about because of what happened with this DL situation. I got this queued up now. I think I found what we're looking for.
Theater in Detroit. Okay. So now during the show, fans were blown away after Monique delivered a profanity-filled rant on stage mentioning Hughley by name. She was angry over a contract dispute after she thought she was supposed to headline the show. She was fed up with the disagreement. She took to the stage to let the crowd know her true feelings in a 10-minute long rant that was caught on video, where she was ridiculing DL Hughley and then questioning his sexuality. Then she added that she never let Hollywood bully her, and Oprah and Tyler Perry kept telling her to let go and let God. And that's when she called out Oprah and Tyler and DL and even you, Steve. Take a listen.
Let go and let God. So I kept hearing over and over and over again. So I said, well, let me let the go and let me give it to God. And you know what God did? He gave it right the back. He said, I gave you everything you need to deal with these cones. Steve Harvey, DL Hughley. I gave you everything you need to deal with these cones. I don't with nobody. See, tonight.
What? Excuse me, Monique?
Let me just open by saying I could care less than about what you think about me. Because clearly, I'm not your problem. You know what?
That.
And anyone who knows me, who really knows me, can't even make that statement. Now you trying to sound profound now, but really, girl.
Why do we keep doing this to each other? Why? If you got an issue with me, come talk to me. But why?
And that goes on with the whole crew with Steve Harvey Morning Show. And here's the thing. People always want to talk about, well, DL ain't no saint. Steve Harvey ain't no saint. This ain't about sainthood.
We ain't asked for that.
We all got a history. We all got things that have happened and have been said and done over the years. This problem right here, this right here, this is all brewed up and stirred up by Monique, Miss Baltimore herself. And I don't know where this is going to end. I don't know where she feels like this is going to go. And where it's going to go is what we talked about last week. There's a mark of everything and everybody. I hope she finds it. All the little auntie trolls, auntie mo trolls in their community are going to love themselves. They're going to go find themselves a mall that's got a bulldozer in front of it and do some shows in front of it, because that's about all she can sell out right now. She can't sell out no arena because nobody want to hear this nonsense. Let's move on, because I'm about tired of dealing with her. Can we move over? Can we move over here to your boy? Can we?
You stuttering?
No, I'm laughing because we got to talk about your man, Dr. Umar Johnson. So let's slide down. Let's see where at the video. There it is. So I guess he's been clowned because. So for people who don't know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, he is people like to clown. He's King Hotep. He is the blackest dude. At least he considers himself that. And it wouldn't be so bad. We know he's pro-black. You know he's about the community. But he keeps on making these missteps. You know, he's trying to raise money in some shady different ways. He gets caught out there when he does it.
He was supposed to open a school that never happened.
Yeah, school never happened. But then this comes up. He looks like he's in a restaurant somewhere, and there's a nice young lady who's not of the African persuasion that he is enjoying the conversation with, and Black Twitter has been roasting him. And so now, what was his apology? Because I think they said he's supposed to have made an apology, or he has something to say.
His first thing is what everybody's first thing is. It was edited. It was edited in a way to make me look a certain way. Okay, fine, whatever. Then he was saying that he went to the mall to get his phone fixed. He was at a kiosk, and their fan came up to him and wanted to get his autograph. And then the white woman was like, "Ooh, why does she want your autograph?" Because that's really not how white people operate. But whatever. And then she became intrigued about why he was famous and why that girl wanted his autograph. And now, she was just wanting to get close and have a conversation. None of this sounds believable. Listen, black men, if you want to date white women at this point, black women don't care. We out here dating other races, getting married to Middle Eastern and Indian men. We're good. So do what you want to do. Like, we don't care.
And which we, like I said, which we seem to talk about on the regular up in here. Because there's going to be enough, when it's all said and done, there's going to be enough black people marrying black people. Enough white people marrying white people. Enough Middle Eastern Indian folks. People gonna do what they're gonna do. So if 5 or 10% or 15% decide they want to marry other races, who cares? But Dr. Umar Johnson is funny, man. He keeps getting caught out there. And it is what it is. All right, so.
But wait, it is another thing. He keeps him constantly posting proof about this and just saying, I was in the mall and somebody wanted to come up and say hi. It's not that big a deal. So he actually had to post proof, a picture of the girl he took a picture with originally. That's her.
So you can't take pictures with more than one person at the mall?
No, you can, but he just keeps trying to post proof and just say, no, I don't like white women. I don't like white women. I don't like white women. You sound like you like white women. You just don't want us to know about it.
Right. If you got to sit up here and scream into the moon top that you don't like white women, that just tells me that, okay, if you like white women, then like white women.
Right.
What's your mind?
Stop messing with people's kids about going to prom with white girls. Like, just stop that, and we'll all just leave you alone. Yeah. And also, isn't he also polyamorous?
I have no idea who these people laying their heads with, man.
I'm sorry.
So Dr. Umar Johnson's polyamorous? Okay.
I think so.
All right. So Dr. Umar Johnson, I just wish there was a way that we can have all of the benefits of social media without I almost cussed right there.
Without all the BS? We'll just say BS.
We'll just say BS. Because we know the time, we know the guys like Dr. Umar Johnson, was talking out of both sides of their mouths, and nobody really knew about it 15, 20 years ago, right? Because we just didn't have that level of access. This level of access is really getting us mixed up. So anyway,
He has 2 wives.
That story is old. I don't believe that story. I think that story was a. I remember that story. I think that was a joke. That was like a publicity stunt. Dr. Umar Johnson, 2 wives. I remember that coming out, but who knows what to believe? Let me see if I can find that story. We live and direct on Life on Circle Radio. So gets married, 2 black queens. This is 2021. Pan-African doctor marries 2 women, but I believe this was some sort of joke.
He was going to name his school Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. If you don't get out my face, if you don't get out my face, that is the worst.
This was in September of 2021, so this wasn't too long ago. A wedding had taken place several days ago. It was filmed, seen on Instagram. No big deal, except that the nuptials involved 2 women and a man named being Dr. Umar Johnson. Somewhere it says that this is not a real wedding, like it was some sort of. And if it was a real wedding, this dude is on all types of shiggity.
Anyway, what's next topic?
All right. So y'all drop in the comments in there if you guys have anything on what we've been talking about today. We've been talking about so much today, but time to get serious here for a minute. As we are now dealing with another.
I almost laughed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to the listeners and the viewers who saw me almost laugh. I'll explain why after he talks about this story.
Well, okay, so situation since we've been on the air the last couple of hours, right before we came on, 3 killed, 11 wounded in a mass shooting on South Street in Philadelphia. People who are from Philly, they know this is an area on a Sunday afternoon. It is summertime, Saturday night. A lot of people got to hang out South Street. That's in supposedly looks like Philadelphia Police Department commissioner said the deceased were 2 men aged 22 and 34, as well as a 27-year-old woman. The wounding range of ages from 17 to 69. At least 14 people were shot. And one of the things we were discussing prior to coming on the air was we didn't call this stuff mass shootings when we were young. A lot of black folks get together for festivals, events, hanging out on the weekend. There's a shooting, people get to run and get people shoot into a crowd. And unfortunately, we are too desensitized to it, because we're like, is this a real mass shooting? It ain't a mass shooting like what happened in Uvalde in our minds.
No,
right? But think about it, it's not in our minds, but is it really that different? You got people that are dying that are, as we just showed, 14 people were shot. So there were 21 people killed in Uvalde, right? 19 children, 2 adults, I think, if my number is correct. 14 people here were shot, 3 people are dead. This story, I tried to, when you text me, I was driving, coming across town in Atlanta. I said, let me see if I hear anything on CNN, on MSNBC, anything. I heard nothing.
No.
Nothing. We talked about this with the Buffalo shooting 2 weeks ago on the show. And we were like, there's a race component to how America responds, right?
No, you're not going to do that.
We are.
No,
We are.
There's not a race component.
Go ahead. Well, let me finish my point, and then you follow. There's a race component, but then there's a hole in my theory, because in Uvalde, they were Hispanic primarily, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But they were children.
Yes.
So of course, them being children are going to keep it on the front page. But you say it's not race based. You tell me why.
The reason why I say it's not race based is because Buffalo did dominate the news cycle for a week. But what happened was Uvalde. It was a week. I checked. I Googled it. It was a week. Today Show ran stuff. Morning Joe. Mm-hmm. All of them ran stuff back to back to back. Fox News ran it double time because they were talking. That's when the whole gun conversation happened. You know how they get. So it was running for a while. And then the children passed away. Not passed away. They were murdered.
They were murdered, right.
And, and these situations are different because these kids and these elderly people were hit at what's quote unquote soft targets, where there's no police presence at the school, at the grocery store. So that's why it made a big deal. This, and again, maybe this is where you and I talk about being desensitized, was y'all shut up so-and-so's party. All right.
And so that's a good point. So that's a good point. It's South Street, which there's going to be some police presence because there's always, you got a lot of black folk. There's going to be some cops that's going to be around, but it's clearly not enough. Do we still consider that a soft target? I would say yes. It ain't a soft target like a church or a school.
Okay.
And
is it a soft target if there is a police presence? Because isn't the police presence supposed to deter them from doing stuff like this?
It is. Obviously, it does deter them. It does. It's not like if that wasn't the case, we'd have, obviously it would be more than what we're already experiencing. But it's such a sadistic way that we have to think about this thing. Is almost like, are the value of our lives in these situations where there's primarily black people and equal to all types of people? And I still don't believe that we're there.
No, I think what happened was raggedy. It shouldn't have happened. There should not have been because from the video surveillance that you sent me that I saw in the article, it basically was a drive-by shooting for absolutely no reason. Like they pull in from the light, sit there, and then start firing. And that type of stuff shouldn't happen. And I don't think that it's a whole, the Black lives are devalued are not counted. This, again, it's just different. It's just a different type of shooting to me than any of the other mass shootings. I'm trying to think of, like when my mom said, don't go to the Martin Luther King parade on 9th Street because, they be shooting. Yeah. I don't want you and your friends to get hurt. You can't go down there. So,
but I don't
was that
see.
on being desensitized to it?
I think we are desensitized because whether it is a 18-year-old kid who killed those kids in Uvalde for whatever reason, whatever his manifesto was, whether it was the white supremacist in Buffalo, or some gangbanger or some dude who got a beef with somebody on the block, it's all about someone who is sadistic, someone who has no value of life. So then it's the response. What is our response as a community, right? When they talk about what goes on in Chicago, because now they want to talk about the murders in Chicago every week, holiday weekends, all of that. It never feels like we're valuing the lives of the people lost. It's always being used as, what about Chicago? Y'all talking about gun control, but what about Chicago? It's like a balancing act of murder, you know, and that's the nonsense that really always kind of gets under my skin.
And it's the same nonsense I feel like they pull when it comes to drugs sometimes. You know,
It is.
like it's the same nonsense.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to a podcast that I'm a huge fan of, and they were saying how there's so many shows, and I'm just using this as an example of how it's treated different. And it could be just the lens that Black people look at it sometimes. There's so many shows that kind of glorify Black drug culture all the time. The Wire, 25-year relationship for The Wire. All these shows glorify Black drug shows and show Black drugs and cops and this and that, and just show it as an entertainment thing. They don't do that for white shows. And I thought about it, like, well, that's not 100% true.
Yeah, that's not true.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, how things are they're just treated differently. They're just looked at through a different lens. We are all, as African Americans, are looking this through one lens. They don't value us when we have shootings and violence. But I hate to say this, and you're probably gonna like punch me when you see me, but do we value us when this stuff happens? Because sometimes it gets a little weird when this stuff happens, like Chicago, like Atlanta.
I just think we're desensitized. I think a lot of us who are like us, who grew up in those hoods, who are no longer in those hoods, we're consuming it like television, like media, from a distance, unless we still have family that are in those communities who we're still constantly in communication with. Now it's like we're out here in suburbia fighting other suburbanites about how this whole situation is being perceived, right? And so we get mad, but here's the thing. We get mad about it, but we're not trying to be back up in the hood buying our old chicken wings from the corner store. It's let's just keep it real. And for anybody who be like, oh, Miguel, you think you too good, blah, blah, blah. Man, please. Y'all act like y'all up in the hood all day, every day like you were when you had to be there.
Let me clear this up, everybody. Me and Miguel are too good. We are. We have bust our butts to not be in the hood. That we are too good. Let me tell y'all something. My uncle passed away, and I have to go home for the funeral. There's a hotel that they just built in the middle of the ghetto, but it's near the baseball stadium where the Rays play. They had the nerve to charge $273 a night at a Staybridge Suites that's like in the middle of the hood. I said, I will be damned if I pay $273 a night. There used to be people selling crack right here. You want me to like pay $273 a night? Absolutely not. But yes, we are out of the hood.
But it's and I have to be careful with that. We different. You say you don't have to be. I get it. We work hard. We still love our people, and I'm not. We are not an anomaly. Y'all out here fronting if you don't know exactly. You lying to yourself if you acting like, oh man, I'm still keeping it real. You keeping it real with that $80,000 Infinity truck outside or in your garage. You know what I mean? Come stop it. Stop
That's because
it.
you go to the barbershop in the hood. You go and get your chicken wings and crabs from the hood. Does not mean you keep it real. But another thing I wanted to bring up with this whole desensitized thing, in LA right now, there is a massive rash of people just going into the mall and robbing the mall. We know those are majority Black children who are doing that. And no one seems to be making that big deal of that. Even the police and everybody else, they're just like, don't come to LA. There's no other like thing they're giving people. Just don't come here. But we are watching these young African-American kids rob the Tiffany's. They're robbing the Sephora, like walking in and just putting stuff in a gym bag and just walking out. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll take your word for it. I don't doubt it. I haven't read that story, but I don't doubt it. And I think that that's a whole nother question about law enforcement and how a lot of law enforcement agencies are under resourced right now, and they're basically like, okay, do I care about that? Sephora, go file an insurance claim, and have better security or hire your own security. We are definitely getting to that place. And here's the other thing about I started hearing about Uvalde. Uvalde is not a very big town, right?
No.
And so you had a situation. My understanding is that that they don't have a lot of members on their police force, and then you started bringing in the state police, who were in support of this operation, and they were not very useful either. And so we keep talking about the Uvalde situation. For example, where we live here in Georgia, we got the city police, we got the county police, and we have the state police. And then if there's something that's even more intense or needs to be investigated, you got a Georgia Bureau of Investigation that could all be on the scene. And that's not even including the sheriff's department, right? And so everybody's talking about the Uvalde Police Department, but who all really was at risk? Who all were the ones who were at fault in that situation?
Well, it's actually the state police, because they're actually threatening. The woman who got arrested got out of the cuffs and ran and jumped a fence and got her kids out. Mm-hmm. Apparently, she was under probation for something stupid. And now, because she keeps talking about what she did, the state police are threatening to throw her back in jail. And she's like, I don't care what y'all do. You think that's going to stick at this point? But we know the state police was involved because they're threatening her to.
Yeah, unfortunately, it probably will stick, because they care more about of locking up a parent running their mouth instead of dealing with the real situation. All right, so we've been rolling.
Last 15 minutes is stupid stuff. It's always stupid stuff. The last bit of the show. So which stupid are you starting with?
All right, so yeah, let's finish up this Drew Sidora thing. Okay, all right, so the whole thing with this situation, she's claiming that she dated LeBron James at some point. We're trying to figure out when that was, because LeBron James has been with his wife Savannah since high school, and there hasn't really been any blips on that. What's your take on this Drew Sidora situation, who is married now, and I guess is going to be on the show? What is it, air Sunday nights?
So tonight.
So this is going to be on the show tonight. So this is a nice PR stunt. But what's your take on this?
So I'm trying to do the whole math here, because Drew Sidora hasn't been famous that long.
Okay.
You couldn't pick Drew Sidora out of a lineup, could you?
Could not.
No, you couldn't. Drew Sidora actually was on the show. What was that with Derwin Davis, and what was that? Where he was a
the game.
Player?
The game.
The game.
Okay.
She was on The Game. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that's around the time when she's talking about they dated, which back in maybe 2011, 2010. Okay, cool. No matter what math you do, though, he has always stated that he has been with his wife since high school. There's never been mentioned that, we took a break or we broke up or none of that. It's never been like that.
Okay.
Even if Drew Sidora dated him, which personally I don't doubt. He's an athlete. You get famous. Come on, Miguel. You know how this goes.
Oh, yeah. I don't, who knows? Who knows? I mean, you travel all over the country. Seem to be the guy who didn't really do much of. But go ahead.
What I do think is highly inappropriate is Drew bringing it up. Drew knows the rules. You know the rules. Why would you bring this up? Because what they were talking about on the show was, so what famous person have you dated? Candy dated Gerald Levert, which I was like, ew, why? Gross. That's gross.
Yeah.
I always think of this weird Levert, but. So she was dating Gerald Levert, and then it got to Drew, who's like, yeah, I dated LeBron, and they tried to blur it out or censor it out, and they did a horrible job because everybody was like, wait a minute, he's been with his girlfriend since high school, so everybody knows who it is. I just think it's messy, and as you said in our post-production meeting, Savannah James does not play about her marriage. LeBron doesn't play about his marriage. So I feel like either Bravo or Drew Sidora herself are going to get like a direct interaction about the situation. It just was so messy. It was unreasonably messy for Drew to come out and say, I dated LeBron James. Like, he's married. He's a married man. There's absolutely no reason for her to be bringing this up right now. I'm apparently supposed to keep ranting about this, and that was all I had to say about about Drew Sidora and this whole messy situation. But like Miguel always says, this is the whole social media, social capital thing where you just have to be, seen and talked about and say this and do that to stay relevant. And it's sad because Drew's already in a messy situation with her marriage, and adding a lawsuit to her already dwindling marriage is absolutely not about to help her situation. It's just really, really sad. But I think I might check it out. I kind of want to see what the whole conversation is. I also want to see what how LeBron James, Savannah James are going to handle Bravo, because Bravo is the person who produces The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they're the ones who are going to go to production in Bravo and say this needs to either be cut or removed or not spoken about, or at least cease and desist from the reunion. So you never know what's about to happen. So since he's not here, I can talk about all the messy stuff that I want to talk about. So let's find. So on Twitter earlier today, I was on Twitter and there's a woman on there talking about how there is no inclusion in Pirates of the Caribbean. She obviously hates Johnny Depp, but she went on and on about how Pirates of the Caribbean, for it to be in the Caribbean, didn't have enough Black people, didn't have enough, enslaved or out of slave Caribbeans. And I tweeted her back, "You're the problem. White women like you are the problem, because you always want to talk about stuff that Black people don't care about. We don't care about the fictional Pirates of the Caribbean movie when we have real stuff going on right now. How about you talk about that? How about you talk about the important stuff that's going on? And how about you actually be an ally to people of color instead of just being somebody who's just talking about absolutely nothing and not helping us?" So that is another thing that annoys me a lot of the time about white women who try to help people of color, when they just talk about asinine stuff. Like, does anybody care about how Black people are treated in these fictional Pirates of the Caribbean movie or any movie? Now,
No.
It's different from the Star Wars character, Moses, whatever her last name is, her getting called the N-word and getting a lot of racist stuff about her being in the Star Wars movie. That's different.
Yeah,
You hear about that?
I have, and I'm watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I am watching it. And
Is it good?
It actually is. I've watched it. It's 3 episodes that are out. Okay. She has a Black woman is one of the primary villains, and I'm here for it. Anybody who have watched for the last 45 years Star Wars in the storyline, that it's almost a storyline about a God complex, right? Where you have these abilities that you have these powerful abilities. They've been dark-sided with Darth Vader, and then you got these people that there's when they came back over 20 years ago, when they rekindled this storyline, there was a lot of holes in it. And in 3 episodes, they filled some holes.
Oh, good.
They have. But going back to your point about this Black woman, I don't know what these racist Star Wars fandom are on about this woman, but she playing the hell out this role. And
that was some of their complaints. Like, she's not good. I'm like, that's not what I heard. That's just from y'all. That's not what no one has said, that she wasn't good in this role. And I'm all for it. You're Black. You're wearing cornrows. You're evil. I'm all for it. Do your thing. Yay! Like, I think that's great that they're letting this happen. And Ewan McGregor, who stars in Obi-Wan Kenobi, has come out in defense. Mm-hmm. White people, if you're gonna defend us, stop tempering your responses. Can y'all just say, "Listen, hey, racist friends, we don't need you. Kick rock. In the street, I'm punching you in the face." Like, it's always we support this Black actress and she does an amazing job and we support her and she's a valued member. I don't want to hear. Let's hear the real. You all are racist. You suck. We don't like you.
Well, and I guess they feel like there's we got some racist Black friends and family that we sit back. And I know some Black people say, well, Black people can't be racist. For the sake of this conversation, Black people can be racist. All right, so
my mom is listening. She always listens. I am so glad that my Aunt B is no longer with us. Uh-huh. That woman was racist against white people and Black people. She used to tell people, Black people, don't walk on my grass because Black people's feet kill grass. Jesus Christ. I am not making this up.
Well, we all have that we all have that in our history. We got people who talk anyway. Let me finish my point.
Shotgun. Because she had a white man come into her house to service her trailer, and she made me and my cousin learn how to load a shotgun because the white man was coming to the house. It was a very interesting summer when I turned 13.
So where was I going? Where was I going before we went on that? Oh, okay. So white people defending and not. So just like we have racist black friends and family, right? That we tolerate, because we know we do tolerate them. We don't just call out our black racist. We don't. No. Stop. You know, we know life in a circle. We keep it real. So we sit around with sometimes some of our black friends will say some real racist BS, and we'll sit there look at them and be like,
oh, what is it nice? Oh God, don't say that, girl. Don't say that kind of stuff.
And I'm quick to be the one to be like, okay, here's the thing. You can't say that anymore. You can't call little people midgets. You can't, you know what I mean? There's so many things that it's not acceptable. You know, I'm the honest friend. Like, okay, please don't go out in them streets. You got your little chuckle here. Don't go out in them streets saying that. So let's just give Ewan McGregor the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Let's just lay the scenario out here. His white racist friend is talking about, which I'm going to call his community of Star Wars fandom. They're the ones, he's executive producer on Obi-Wan Kenobi, so he got some paper involved. He like, all right, I'm not going to flat out call you racist. I'm going to say to you guys, hey guys, don't be racist. See, there's a difference between telling somebody you're a racist to saying don't be racist, right? So let's just say that's what's happening right here. Here's the thing about what I love about Sister Girl. You know how most of the time in these alien movies, you know, you'll see the Asian guy that's got like a little brain coming out the side of his head or something, because they got to be an alien, so they got to have little things hanging out, or
they're always a different color.
They're always a different color.
Either blue or green.
Right, they're blue or they're green, or they got little. Trey walked in on me watching yesterday, and one of the characters had little tentacles coming from his mouth, and he was talking. She's like, "Ooh, why do you watch that? I'm gonna get bad dreams." This sister ain't nothing but a sister.
Oh, she black.
She ain't got no funny looking nothing. She ain't got nothing. The only thing funny about her is that her braids are real tight. They like sitting off her head just a little bit. Like she got an extra one of them little rubber bands y'all put on to make it up so you can. She really, you know what's so funny? She is actually the sister who is ready to fight. You know how y'all got to get your little rubber band to get it right? No, she walks around with it hanging like I'm ready to scrap. And when she walks in the door, all the other little stormtroopers, all the other little stormtroopers, they part ways. Like, okay, that's Darth Vader girl right there. I'm not messing with her. She coming through choking people from a distance like Darth Vader. If you haven't seen it, y'all think I'm joking. Obi-Wan Kenobi is on Disney Plus. I know we hadn't announced we were doing our What Are You Watching Now? That's what I'm watching.
Can I say something funny?
Sure.
Me on the show, this is the reason why I'm not famous. Because Miguel would be my PR person, and he had to pull me by my neck into the room like nobody's watching. Like, listen, I done told you, can you stop doing this type of stuff? Like, no, I can't. This is me, and I don't really think I would ever want to or could be famous, because having to not to say, oh, you're just racist, or you're just stupid, or you're just really annoying, or you're just only here because you're white and pretty. So why?
Well, you know, there's a market for that, market for everything and everybody. Yeah. You know, we just gotta find. You know,
if I was on a show like P Valley, I could say what I want to say. I don't want to be on P Valley.
Yeah, right. You know, that's not what we do. But you know, eventually that may be what we do. All right. So what else are you watching right
now? You're gonna The Boys. Lord. The Boys.
Here's the funny thing, right?
I love it.
We watched the first season of The Boys. We started the beginning of season 2, and I was just like, I'm just not in the mood for this. And Laz Alonso, you know, is someone that, you know, that we've had on Life Full Circle before years ago. And you know, I said I got to support my man. So I know season 3 just came out. There's some time right now. Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3, but okay. it's a lot. Yeah. They and The Boys, for you guys know what The Boys is, it's a graphic novel. It used to be a comic book. They turned into a TV show. It is graphic. It's not kind of graphic like, oh, I'll just fast forward through the sex scenes, it's graphic.
Yeah.
Kevin Foy said second season was trash. You better be talking about another show, Kelvin. What show are you talking about? Boys. No man, no hand, no turkey.
I was wondering about that, K Foy. I was like, I wanted to catch up, and I guess I might, because we might have some time, but go ahead.
No.
What's your response to K4? It wasn't trash? What?
The second season 2 was not trash, I guess, to me, because they brought in Stormfront, who it used to be a Nazi, and no one knew that she kind of just played it off as I just have strong opinions. I'm just a woman. Come to find out, she was not only just a racist woman, she was actually a Nazi that they had given the compound V to that had been alive for 100 years. And that has a whole storyline, and that storyline continues into this one. So, which is why it's important that you watch season 2, Kelvin.
So I might do it. I might.
Don't watch it with the kids are in the house. I'm not saying that they need to be either asleep, drugged up on melatonin.
No. I don't play around with my kids seeing stuff like that. Nah, it ain't happening. Like right now, my children want to go see the latest Marvel movie, and it's got too much witchcraft in it. I'm not taking them to that.
Nope. Oh, don't go take them to go see Morbius.
No, not Morbius. Not Morbius. I'm talking about the one with Doctor Strange. And them
children to go see Doctor Strange and take the stick out of your butt. No, come on.
No, it is way too much. It is way too much witchcraft in that joint. It's too.
There's no witchcraft in it. What are you?
Absolutely witchcraft. The one with the I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. What's the witch? What's her name? Scarlet the witch. Right. So
she's not a real witch. She has powers, but she's not a witch. She's not casting spells.
She absolutely is casting spells. What are you watching?
Oh my God!
Y'all not caught. You don't consider respect.
Church, y'all just ruin everything.
Whatever. It don't settle in my spirit. It don't sit down in here real good. So I was
think about that. If the girls if you haven't let them watch the show on
Disney Plus,
her show, did you let them watch her show, the WandaVision?
I don't think so. And the only reason why I pause is because the same conversation you and I are having, my oldest daughter and I have had, and she's just like, "Oh, I know y'all not gonna want to. Yeah, I know y'all not gonna want to see it. Let them see it because of the witchcraft. Because my Saran knows how I feel about it. Yeah. I'm of the mindset that kids got to get to a certain age, and they can when they have a level of maturity, then I can let them see certain things.
And I agree with you, but the good news is that they haven't watched that show. Watching that movie, even if you were down for it, would make completely no sense. So they're not missing out anything because they haven't watched the show yet. You literally have to watch that WandaVision TV show to even know what's going on.
Yeah, to even understand. But and dare I say, because these are some pretty sharp 9 and 10-year-old girls, but it was so much going on in that Doctor Strange metaverse joint, and it just imagery and stuff, that shit, it doesn't sit well with me. Anyway, so
a little bit of a horror film, but I thought you were talking about Morbius, because Morbius is Marvel's first flop. Hardcore flop.
Is it a flop? Was it a flop?
Ooh, 2 weeks, box office $185,000 US.
$185 million.
No. No, sweetie. No, my man. $100,000 last week US.
Stop it.
$5,000 this weekend, U.S. Worldwide, they might make the budget back, but no, they only made $100,000 opening weekend last weekend, $85,000 this weekend opening weekend in U.S. on a Marvel movie.
They should have went straight to streaming on that. I don't know why they even. They got to be dropping that joint on the stream here like now, like they have to be. Like you got to.
No. By the way, all y'all people who's tuned in to talk to us the last 15 minutes of the show, why does this keep happening?
Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So K4 is one of my men. We neighborhood play ball together. He's got him and his some people from home. They have a Red Ink Radio. They do music and talk shows. They've got a show called Opinions Matter with Kelvin. Kelvin and Haran, who comes on the show as well sometime, they on a show together. They have a show. We're gonna do a show, K4, I'm calling you out. You and Haran. We gotta do a show together at some point. So K4 said he is watching We on the City, which I just finished that.
Yes.
And
top of the show if you were here, but you weren't, so it's fine. Morbius could have been. Let's stick to We on the City. Yes, Miguel just finished it. Apparently, it's based on a true story.
So it's based on quite a few stories in there, and I didn't realize that, which I'm glad I didn't realize that until the end. And this will lead into what we're going to close out with, because we got to talk about 20th anniversary of The Wire. But yes. So one of the characters that what's my man's name? Jamie. The dude that played Marlo Stansfield, he played a cop So if you haven't seen We Own the City, it's about Baltimore around the time of the Freddie Gray situation, around the time when Donald Trump was elected president, and it follows these dirty cops that were going into drug busts, pulling guns off the street. They would go in there and find $100,000 that would be in somebody's crib. They wouldn't turn it all in. When it's all said and done, I don't want to ruin it for you. You watch it. It's only 6 episodes, and there's 6 excellent episodes. Jamie Hector is the one is what I'm thinking about, who played Marlo Stansfield. As a matter of fact, I want to go to this shot here with them, and because, when I look at this,
I haven't watched it, but I will say that I know that I had to Google to make sure I say her name. Wanmi Mosaka is in it, and she's a great actress. Oh,
For what was the and here's what I love about HBO is that they recycle their talent. She played in the one with Smollett's sister.
Yeah, she was in Lovecraft Country. She played
Lovecraft Country. She played in that. And I was sitting there with Trey. We were watching it, and I said, "These British actors, I love them, and they get on my nerves because she's British. She's a British Nigerian.
She sure is.
And
jobs.
Nothing about that woman in We Own the City or in Lovecraft Country would tell you that this woman is British. You see her in the interview, and she just as British Nigerian as she could be, right? And
you know who she should have played?
Who?
In Harder They Fall, she should have played the light-skinned girl's character. She should have played her character.
Why don't y'all leave that little light-skinned girl alone? See right there. See that's your undercover. You should let that. She did fine in that little role.
Light-skinned girl, but if they weren't going to have her, then Wanmi should have played her. But don't try to make me a colorist. You're trying to make me a colorist. I don't like it. Anyway.
Hey, you the one used the word the light skin as I'm talking about we in these light-skinned streets with the NBA Finals this year.
Oh, Zazie Beetz. That's her name.
Zazie Beetz. There we go. All right, so let's talk about, as we mentioned, and we can kind of bring this all together as my man Michael K. Williams is in the middle of the screen. This is the cast that played several roles in The Wire through the years. And you look at these guys. You look at these people, man. Idris Elba and Jamie Hector. These are people that have been character actors. And the great thing, even this sister here, I forget her name, but she actually was a Baltimorean.
You mean Snoop?
Who played Snoop. Of course, I remember her role.
Her nickname is Snoop in real life.
Right, and she was a real live criminal. She was a drug dealer and that's something I saw David Simon, who is this guy. I saw David Simon on MSNBC yesterday morning, and he talked about how at one point they had the current mayor of Baltimore was on The Wire during the 20-year run, and that they would have real people as almost an Easter egg. When we talk about, Easter eggs that are in Marvels or whatever, they would have real, like Kurt Schmoke, who, when I was in school in Baltimore back in 1990-91, Kurt Schmoke was the mayor of Baltimore at the time, and he played a health commissioner or something in The Wire. But these people are people you've seen now for the last 20 years. And the only one who's become a huge star has been Idris Elba. Everyone else are pretty much great character actors that we see all the time.
Oh, you're about to be racist against the white people.
What? Well, I know my man. I can't think of his name, but I know he's
Dominic
huge.
West.
Dominic West is huge, relatively. So call it what you want. We know. I'm forgetting everybody's name right now. This is Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce is, but he's not. These aren't A-list guys. Dominic West is, but then the other guy who played in where is he? The one who played in Game of Thrones as well, who is, I believe, a major character in The Wire. But anyway, point is, this was a piece of work that I'm gonna watch it again this summer.
And I've never watched The Wire, just so you guys, and please don't take my black card. We go through this every year with Life on Circle Radio.
And I'm tired of it. You gotta watch The Wire.
I am. I'm going to watch The Wire, but what I think Miguel's trying to say is that this show launched a lot of careers, and we always tend to sometimes just like forget about it a little bit, like, oh, he was on The Wire. Again, MichaelBJordan. I remember MichaelBJordan being on The Wire. I didn't watch the show regularly, but I remember everybody talking about him being on The Wire. Wood Harris.
West,
Idris Elba. You're also talking about Michael K. Williams got to start, and Michael K. Williams was this the entire time. Pablo Schreiber, if you
my
know
man
Pablo
who played Bubbles, Andre Royo,
Lance Reddick, who's been in a lot of stuff. The
Lance
tall,
Reddick,
black guy.
yes, Lance Reddick, which is where is he? Where is Lance Reddick? I know exactly. He played the Colonel. He was a look. There are so many faces here of people who have had amazing careers the last 20 years, and they started on The Wire. Even this season, which is season 3, I believe. And you talked about this guy. What is his name? It's you talked about the guy on the left. What's his name? The guy on the left.
Oh, his name is Chris Bauer, and if he looks familiar, because like Miguel has said to me, HBO recycles their good characters. If you're a good actor, they're not going to let you go to another network. Like, no, you're going to stay here. So he was also the main character on True Blood, and True Blood was a massive show on HBO.
Right.
Massive.
And to me, that was the worst season. It was a season that they had where they were on the docks. So what The Wire did was amazing over the 5-year span. They kind of touched on different areas, education in the streets and police and all of that, politics and all that. I didn't even like that season. They talked about the docks and the whole that union side of it. But all these people have had amazing careers. They're still working today because of this show.
All of them. The only person who's not working for a fact is Felicia, but Felicia actually was on several seasons of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Felicia,
Snoop.
Which one is Felicia?
Snoop. Her real name is Felicia Pearson.
Okay, Felicia Pearson, who plays Snoop. Yeah. It's just I can't even remember most of their names. I just know their faces and love their characters over the years and the work that they did. If you guys have not seen The Wire and you black, I'm putting you over here with Kia. And y'all have an assignment this summer. We need to do a whole podcast on like a real live. Let's just break the characters down after you get a chance to watch it.
And we can. I think that would be super fun to do. I don't mind doing a TV show breakdown. But the one thing I think is awesome is that some of these actors get pigeonholed in the show as crackheads, according to friends that I know are drug addicts or whatever. They've moved on to other work. None of them have played crackheads. They're all playing like hardcore characters in other films. Nobody has gotten casted. Nobody.
Yeah, you know what's interesting that you bring that up because these are shots from We Own the City. And the interesting thing about We Own the City is there are about 4 or 5 recognizable characters in We Own the City who were in The Wire, and their characterization is flipped. Of course, this guy, Jamie's, I think that whatever his name is, Jamie, he played Marlo Stansfield, who was a huge drug dealer in The Wire. He plays a cop in this show. You have an appearance with my man from the Backyard Band, Genghis. He has a bit role in the We Own the City. We have the other one of the Stansfield brothers, one of the younger cats. So everybody who was kind of a street character in The Wire, a lot of them ended up playing cops in other roles. But, we got to close out with my man, Michael K. Williams, and his career that he had, not only with The Wire, but he also played in, he played in a couple, what was it? Actually, I don't watch the True Bloods and all that, but he was in another.
True Blood. He was in Lovecraft Country.
He was in another HBO series too, though. It was like
he was. What is the one with the ugly guy who's always in Adam Sandler movies? Oh God, the Boardwalk Empire. He was in
Boardwalk Empire. He was in Boardwalk Empire. I didn't watch it. Haven't watched it, but he had an amazing career and
so versatile.
Such a versatile actor.
He's played drug addicts. He has played drug dealers. He has played it all. And, he died of a fentanyl overdose.
That fentanyl is not playing right now. It is not playing with folks. Great show today. A couple bumps in the road, but, it is what it is. It's live TV, radio, streaming.
You missed my horrible rant about Real Housewives of Atlanta because I was just trying to ramble because I didn't care that much. I think you overestimated how much I actually cared.
You love that stuff, man. Oh, we didn't. You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
We didn't talk about, and you want to talk about it. This will be our surprise, not surprise.
What is it?
Hold on. This mess.
Okay. All right, we gotta talk about it. 5 minutes. 5 minutes and we'll go. 5 minutes.
All right,
We got 5
all
minutes.
right, all right. Tell us a
So-
story. You go ahead, because
Yeah.
you gonna have to get us up to speed.
TLC
Stick
is
around,
trash.
K4.
TLC has been trash for the past couple years. They just throw anything on TV. Like everybody knows TLC is trash. So now they're doing Seeking Sister Wife. There is a black guy who is a bum, who is married to two, not even really married, because the two white women are married to each other. They have him, who they consider a
Hold on, you
trophy
didn't say that part. The two white women are married to each other?
Yes, they got married to each other. They've always been with him, but they got married to each other to protect them because they are the ones with the actual assets.
Can we play this clip real quick?
Go ahead, play
The
this clip.
arrangements at home is that we all share one bed.
Morning. Just getting up here.
Part of that is because of space. I mean, we have the smallest house ever right now. We had to work it out the way we worked out, and it ended up working out in a way that we prefer.
Not one of us spends a night without Nick because it's very special to be able to, sleep next to the one you love for sure.
I like to be snuggled up in the middle. It's a nice spot for me. So it's okay.
I'll get the buns out here in like a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Are they in an oven?
Hold on. I feel sorry for that kid right there.
I'm laughing for real. This isn't even like show laughter. This is real laughter.
Yo, I can't watch no more of
Let's
this.
review this show every week.
So this show is called Seeking Sister Wife. And so there are 3 of them. So we've only seen 2 up to this point. So there are 3 women and 1 dude. Let's just say that my man must be putting it down. They must be enamored with the brother.
He looks short and he doesn't have a job.
Which is further reason to believe he must be putting it down. If he's short, he ain't got no job, and he got 3 women.
I'm sorry. To each their own, but I'm good on this.
Oh my God.
If their kid was in the class with Devin, they came to the pool party, I would be talking about them so bad to the other moms. Like, look at this. Do you see what's happening right here?
Oh my God.
They're going to have to go. I'll give them a to-go plate. Like, no, you cannot stay here with this. Nope.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, next week, will it be Juneteenth yet? I'm sure we'll have some Juneteenth conversations going on. You have to bring your...
and we left off the museum with the watermelon salad.
I don't know anything about no museums. What is that? No. What is that? We got to go. What is that?
Juneteenth, part of the Juneteenth promotion to support at the museum. I think it was the Brooklyn Museum. They had a watermelon salad and called it in celebration of Juneteenth. Here's this watermelon salad. Don't get me wrong, the salad looked delicious. It looked amazing, but it was so inappropriate to do this. And now a lot of people who came to the museum that day and saw Juneteenth, menu watermelon salad were completely put off. Rightfully so.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired of people. I really am.
We'll be back next week. We'll have a ton to talk about. There's going to be so many Juneteenth mistakes, people doing the crate challenges, probably a shooting. We'll have tons to talk about.
We've gotten to that point now where Juneteenth all of a sudden came in, and I got my Virginia family on here. We didn't celebrate Juneteenth in VA.
We did in Florida. I've known
Florida. In VA, we was already free 2 years before that, so they didn't teach us that in school. So anyway, we about to be out of here.
We gotta go.
We about to be out. I'm trying to rep my shirt real quick, man. It didn't come together like I wanted to. Anyway, come on now.
Oh, your Public Enemy shirt?
I was about to play that Fight the Power, but I can't find it real quick. All right, we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. Y'all enjoy yourself. Enjoy the game tonight. I think we probably got another week and a half of light skin energy because we got all them light skin boards that are playing in NBA Finals.
Oh, yeah, I was like, what? Yeah. It's out here looking like a light bright situation in every way possible. It's so sad. Bye, guys.
All right,
see you next
peace.
week.